Welcome back, grade 7. You're back with Teacher Snesipo on Maski TV. And today we'll be doing the second part of decimal fraction, which will be focusing on calculation techniques, as I mentioned on the last week. Now, by the end of this lesson, I need you to be able to add decimal fractions, subtract decimal fractions, multiply decimal fractions, and divide decimal fractions. Let's dive right into it. Now, addition and subtraction of decimal fractions. To add and or subtract decimal fractions, we simply add the tenths. Remember, the tenths are the first digits after the comma from last week. The tenths are the first digits after the comma on your right. And the hundreds, the second digit after the comma. The hundreds and the thousands are the third digits after the comma. And we forget now, when you are adding or subtracting, you need to add the tenths together, the hundreds together, the thousands together, and so on and so forth. And this shouldn't be strange to you because it's the same thing we've been doing with whole numbers. We're adding the tens together, the hundreds together, the thousands together, and the 10,000s together, and so on and so forth. Now, and that method, we used to call it the column method. Here's an example for it. I have here 2,314 plus 3,72. Remember, whenever you have to add or subtract, you need to have the same number of decimal places. Same as when you have to compare. You need to have the same number of decimal places. Here's my column. It's 2,314 plus 3,720. There you add the thousands together. 4 plus 4 gives you, 4 plus 0 gives you 4. 1 plus 2 gives you 3. And 3 plus 7 gives you 10. 3 plus 7 gives you 10. Now from that 10 we take the 0. The 1, we carry it over to the number on the left. Same way we've been doing with whole numbers. Now it's 1 plus 2, which gives you 3, and 3 plus 3 gives you a 6. So that means 2,314 plus 3,2 gives you 6,034. Here's another one. This one now deals with subtraction. We again need to have the same number of decimal places. If there's a deficiency in the decimal places, we extend it by putting another 0. Here I have 3,18 minus 2,713. Again, we subtract the thousandths with the thousands. It's 0 minus 3. We cannot separate 3 from nothing. So that means we need to go and borrow from the number on the left, which is 8. Now, if we borrow 1 from 8, we will be left with 7. If we borrow 1 from 8, we'll be left with 7 there. And then we take that 1 to that side, and then it will be 10 now. 10 minus 3 gives you a 7. And then now we have a 7 minus 1, which gives you a 6. And then we have a 7 minus 1, which gives you a 6. And we also have a 1 minus 7 now. A 1 minus 7, we cannot separate 7 from 1. That means we need to go and borrow from the neighbor on the left, which is 3. Now from 3, we will be left with 2 if we borrow 1 from it. And then now we have 11 minus 7. 11 minus 7 will give you a 4. And then from there we have 2 minus 2, which gives you a 0. That means 3,18 minus 2,713 will give you 0,467. That was subtraction. The first one was addition. Now we have the next one, which is multiplication of decimal fractions. Now, the first one that we're going to deal with is multiplication of decimal fractions with the powers of 10. When decimals are multiplied by powers of 10, we move the comma to the right. We move the comma to the right by the same number of places of the zeros. So if you have a 0, if you have a decimal and you multiply it by 10, 10 has 1 0. That means you will move your comma by 1 place. Now, and then here it says calculate 0,0234. How many decimal places how many zeros do I have on the 100? I have 2. So that means I will move my comma to the right how many times? 2 times. And then I will be left with 002,34, which is my comma now will be there, which is there. But the zeros in front, we can just discard them because we call them excess zeros. Now, from here, we have that 0.0234 multiplied by 100 will give you 2,4. Now, here we have 2,708 multiplied by 100,000. How many zeros do I have there? 5. So that means I'll move my comma 5 units to the right. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now it moves to the extent that I had 2,708. Now I need to move that 5 units to the right. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I have nothing there. That means we can add it with a 0 there. We can add zeros there. So this means my comma will now be there. So this will now be 270,800, comma 0, which is just 270,800, which is that right there. That's how we got the 2 values. So when multiplying by powers of 10, you just move the comma according to the same number of zeros you are having on that power of 10. Now, multiplying decimal by another decimal now. Multiplying a decimal by another decimal. What do we do? To multiply decimal fractions by another decimal fraction, it is easier by. Now, when you want to multiply a decimal by another decimal, it is easier to just use fraction. Remember, we did fractions way back. Now, and it was nicer to multiply fractions because when you're multiplying fraction, you just multiply the numerator with the numerator and the denominator with the denominator. So here it's telling us that step 1, whenever I want to multiply a decimal by a decimal, you change them into common fractions. Remember, what is a common fraction? A common fraction is one where the numerator and the denominator are both whole numbers. Step 2, except that, remember for common fraction, except the denominator cannot be 0. Now, step 2, multiply the fractions. We know how to multiply fraction. Numerator, multiply by numerator. Denominator, multiply by denominator. Step 3, you convert back to the decimal fractions. Remember, how do you convert back to decimal fractions? That's what we're going to do here. We calculate, remember we had the tenths, we had the thousandths, we had the 10,000s, and so on and so forth. That's how we will be doing our conversion back to decimal fractions. Let's see this with some examples. Here's the first example. I have 0,6 times 0,3. I have how many decimal places there? I have 1 decimal place. So this 6 is in the 10th place. That means 0,6 is just 6 over the 10th. And then 0,3, I only have 1 decimal place there. That means it's in the 10th place as well. So that would mean I have 3 over 10. Now, these are fractions. We're good with fractions when it comes to multiplication by now, which is 6 times 3, which gives me 18. And 10 times 10 gives you 100. Now, how do you convert back 18 over 100? How many zeros do I have here? This is in the 100th place. So that means I have 2 decimal places after the comma. So my answer will be 0,1. 18 because this 18 needs to occupy 2 places after the comma. Now, here's another one. Another one says we have 2,5 multiplied by 1,34. Again, you ask yourself, how many decimal places am I having there? I have 1. So that means I have 25 over a 10 because this decimal is in the 10th place. Now here, how many decimals do I have after the comma? Is 2. So that means I have 134 divided by 100. So that means this last digit is in the 100th place. Now, you want to multiply these two. This is just a multiplication of fractions. You multiply the numerator with the numerator, a denominator with the denominator. Now, 25 times 134, that should give you 3,350 divided by 10 times 100, that will be 1,000. So this number, it must occupy, it must all be filled in the 1,000th place. So that means 3,350 divided by 1,000, that will give me 3, because 1,000 goes to 3,000 3 times. And this will be 350. It needs to occupy, the last digit needs to occupy the 1,000th place. So from there, this means 3,350 divided by 1,000 is just 3,35. Remember, the 0 at the end, we can just disregard it and have 3,35. That was a multiplication of a decimal with another decimal. Now, how do we do it when we deal with division? When decimals are divided by power of 10, we move the comma to the left. Remember, when we were multiplying by the powers of 10, we're moving the comma to the right. But now when we are dividing by the powers of 10, we are moving the comma to the left. We are moving the comma to the left by the same number of zeros you are having. So here I have 5,302 divided by 1,000. Here the solution would be, I move the comma 3 places to the left. So this comma will move 3 places to the left. But how do I move it? I move the comma 3 places to the left. Remember, if I go to the left, I will go past the 5. It's 5.302 divided by 1,000. So I have 3 zeros. That means I will divide. I will move my comma to the left 3 times. That means I'll move this 1, 2, 3. But there are no numbers there. That means I must put the zeros. So my comma now will be there. So this will be 0, 0, 0, 5, 3, 2, 0, 2, which is that answer that we are having there. Next one, dividing a decimal by a whole number. Now, remember, whole numbers are all your counting numbers starting from 0 going to infinite. When dividing decimal by a whole number, we use the same method as for whole numbers. Remember, when we're dealing with whole numbers, we're dividing a whole number with a whole number using what we call the long division. But now, the fact that we have a long division, that means we also have the short division. And in this case, I will now use the short division to divide these two. Before I can do these problems for you, I need to give you time to take some 2 minutes to attempt this and see how can we divide this 6.93 by 3 and 6.75 divided by 5. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to firstly do that, and then I'll be back after the break so we can work through them together.
Waiting for you to shine. People passing me
Welcome back, grade 7. I hope you managed to get time to do this exercise, which is worked examples. If you didn't get these solutions, that means you probably did something which was incorrectly. Now, you can divide these two numbers. A, let's first focus on A. A is saying we are dividing, remember, long division. Remember long division, we are having 3 divided by 6.93. Now, it says here, before you start dividing, place the comma in the answer exactly above where it is in the dividend. Now, the comma is here, that means our answer will also have a comma there. Our answer, it will also have a comma there. Now, this comma is exactly there. Now you ask, how many times does 3 goes to 6? 3 goes to 6 how many times? 2 times. Now, you are left with that 9 and 3. You ask yourself, how many times does 3 goes to 9? 3 goes to 9, 3 times. And then you ask yourself again, how many times does 3 goes to 3? It goes to 3 1 times. So that means, therefore, the answer of 6,93 divided by 3, it will be 2,31. This is what I call the short method. Now, let's see on the next example, how do we deal with this one? B. B is saying we have 5. You are dividing it into 6,75. Now, you ask yourself, this is a decimal, you put it exactly straight to it. You ask yourself, how many times does 5 go to 6? It goes there once. But it leaves a remainder of what? Of 1. And then that one, what do we do with that one? We carry over to the number on the right. Now you have 17. You ask yourself, what is 17 divided by 5? 17 divided by 5 is 3. But then again, we are left with a remainder of 2. And then what do you do with that 2? You carry over to the next digit. You ask yourself, 25 divided by 5. That will give you a 5. So that means 6,25 divided by 5, it will be 1,35. I hope you managed to get the same answers as me. Now, with that being said, here is your own homework to go and do at home. And I hope you manage to find it as interesting as I find it to be. And until we meet again next week, from me and the Maski TV team, I would like to remind you of Maski to help you with the homework that I just gave you and also your school's work on mathematics. And here's the number. Please tell a friend to add Maski. It's 072 091 0388. And from me to you, it's goodbye for now. See you next week.
Our next exciting chapter with the launch of Maskiverse, an inspiring trio of innovations, our AI-powered learning companion, captivating TV content, and a vibrant playground for interactive learning, and our own dedicated app, all coming together beautifully to deliver learning outcomes through technology.